All right. That's better. That's much better with that light behind, and we can see Chong, which is the reason I'm up here. And I'm going to be doing my braiding. He's taking his puppy nap over here. He's a good boy. I know most people think I'm silly for liking, I guess, just being a big dog lover and spoiling my dog, but he's my best friend. And I feel in the end, sometimes that's all you have is your best friend. And if you're lucky, your family. But I got my cards out here too. I'm gonna make a slip knot and start this, and I'm gonna live stream until the husband comes home. But you take this, put it around your fingers like that, and then I come down and shove all this under like this. Then you get down under here and you pull this way. All right. Then I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. It's a lot easier on my webcam to do this. And I had made this also. This is what I'm trying to get the other side of this done. I'm going to be working on this one for until it's done. Because I like to have my things to do that makes me. I guess. Oh, jeez. I forgot to cut this half. Sometimes you deal with a bunch of inhumanitarians and you feel like you're losing your own humanity sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I could trust people, and then the people I trust, I guess, cannot be trusted. And when you see a bunch of people that cannot be trusted, that were your so-called friends, it hits home and it does hurt. So sometimes it's better to talk to strangers than, I guess, talk to your best friend at times. Because when people have bad times, they tend to try to bring you down. And they have other happy little stuff. And I mean, I don't like to, I try not to judge nobody, but sometimes, even when you're someone that's intuitive, you could be on the receptive end of a bunch of bullshit, which is true facts here. It is what it is. The world's full of ugliness. But at least I feel like I'm talking to someone, and maybe if I'm lucky, a couple people feel the same way as me. Oh, hello, how are you? But people that, when the times are tough or some situation happens, the ones that have your back are always the ones that are your friends. It just so happens that a situation happened for me over the weekend and I didn't do it, but somehow I got blamed. And then all the people that weren't my friends were the ones trying to throw me under the bridge, and I had people screaming that I didn't do it. And I found out who my real friends were. It's in these times, and there was these friends that I thought really were my real friends. They acted nice. They were very nice to me, but when one situation happens, it was a screaming match, and my real friends that actually cared about my existence was the ones that was left. And it really kind of mind fucked me, I guess you could say. And sometimes you feel like you have no friends. Sometimes it's nice to be able to live stream and people. And I know you guys enjoy these tarot readings, so that's why I come on and do those. I got my cards here. I just sometimes gotta do things to keep my mind busy. Because it came out at work, of course, that I have autism. I told two people. I got my cards ready if you guys want a reading. Video portal. Hey. Oh, hello. How are you? I'm just over here talking about my fake friends from work, and they are really fake friends. We've been friends for like years, and when one little thing at work happens, when I literally give residents presents and everything else, they went fucking psycho, and nobody knew who did it or what, but they all have assumptions on who did it. And I felt like who framed Roger Rabbit. And I had my friends that really have, because I've been at my place for 10 years. Some of these friends I've had for a couple of years that I thought were friends. And then on party day, because we always have like a Sunday party, I just found out who my real friends were and who my real friends weren't. And it made me really sad. And some of them think I'm a horrible live streamer. And I changed my schedule, so I got kind of jealous. And I'm sorry I can't deal with chaos. I just can't. And these guys are always, I don't know, they're whining, and then they make all this money. They make a lot of money, these nurses. And the thing is they get paid to talk to families and do medication, and they get paid a lot of money, and they act like nobody else exists sometimes. And the thing is that us aides are there, and we're the ones that take care of them. They do the paperwork and pass judgment, and sometimes it gets really heated in a nursing home. And you get blamed for stupid stuff, and I had nothing to do with it, but nobody really cared, and that's where I'm at, I guess. So, I guess today with a heavy heart, I realized that some people that I thought were friends for a long time just are not my friends. And I know it's something that you go through as a kid, but when you get to be around 50 years old and you feel that I guess, the world around you and you thought you learned it all, when you get my age, sometimes bad things happen. I know this sounds like a silly crap, but I was sitting there looking at all these hair extensions and different stuff because I'm trying to let my hair grow out and then I want to cut it again. I do it myself, but I want to do it in layers. I thought it might be nice if I had a little like hair extensions, and I've seen these things on Amazon. So I'm trying to shove as many as I can, and I have one of these clips that have holes in it. Just and I'm like I was gonna dye my hair black, so I thought if I made myself a little clip. Oh, hello. Tasia? Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the love. I feel like I lost like 5 friends that I've had for years, and it really bothers me. And there's really nothing I could do about it because I guess these were self-centered people that were pretending to be my friend. And you would think that I would have known this from when I was from when you're younger and you learn these lessons and all that, but apparently you can learn these lessons when you're older. I mean, it's got to question my entire routine. I don't know if I want to go to night shift or anything now. I guess I'll just go to work and just not talk to nobody. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and go crazy. I just do a slip knot in these. I do like knitting and stuff. So I've realized I think when they do these hair extensions that they do slip knots and they could and do this before they braid. It's the only way they could do this. I always have these little ideas. And I always go to yarn when I'm upset, so I really do. I find it a fun and I take this slip knot and I have one of these things here. It's for my crystals. I got a lot of little crystals in here. I got these smaller ones and these little things with the little here. My son got me these. But I even texted him because I felt he has been ignoring me because he has not got my taxes done yet. And I literally have bitched about this on every stream of his ways of forgetting my thing. And I'm just doing a regular corn style brain. And that's it. Alright, let's do this here. I think this computer camera is much better. But he got a hold of me and told me he legitly forgot, and I wasn't even mad at him. His wife just had a miscarriage, so he said that I think it's this weekend coming up. He's gonna come and visit me. He lives like an hour away, so I feel when you get around 50, you're living on borrowed time. So I try to do things to keep busy, and sometimes you lose a lot of friends when you get older. And then my mother-in-law informed me that I am now a senior citizen, which doesn't help my whole life, but I guess technically I am, but I don't feel like a senior citizen. I did have a health scare, and I was live streaming while I was sick. And I did that because I didn't know how long I was going to live or if the infection was going to take over my entire body, but I did it because I thought my family could at least look at the videos of me and celebrate what I do in life and not what they could have done or remembering some stupid little memory from a picture because a picture got lost in our facility. And I'm the one who reported this picture. Oh, well, thank you. This is why I love you guys. I get all kinds of support over here. But yeah, I reported this picture because, and they said to throw this picture away. And I literally reported, and a nurse moved it to a table. And I had it in the back. And this nurse decided to come in and move it to the table. We have a lot of residents that have dementia and stuff that go around in their wheelchairs. And it came up missing. And because I do arts and crafts on my stream, they thought I stole this picture when I was the one that reported it. And it stood there for like a week after the man died. And then when a resident or whatever happened to this picture, it came up missing and the family's demanding it back. But it got moved to begin with, and somehow I got blamed because I do arts and crafts. It's like blame the arts and crafts person. And I even told everybody my husband pays all the bills, literally. He got upset. He told him to tell him to come to the restaurant and he'd cuss him out. And I keep my little job for health insurance because I got to get some dental work done and that's like the most expensive doctor beside the heart doctor that you're going to get. So I keep it for 32 hours a week, and I went to weekends to have less drama. Next thing I know, this picture came up missing, and the family's demanding it. It's like the man was dead for a week, and the family came in to look at the picture. And then the sons and all that said, I don't know who those people are. I don't want this picture. The family declined the picture. And the nurse moved it out because she said it was cluttering out the back of the nurse's station. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a week later, the lady comes, the one of their aunts or whatever, whoever she was, I don't know. And then that's when that happened. And they said somebody moved it. They asked everybody. And the thing is if you got a unit with a lot of mixed with different kinds of people with different conditions, and you were alerted about a picture and the funeral, and this was after the funeral and everything was over, they come to get this. And I got blamed for all of it. They thought I stole this picture, because I was trying to practice a painting for my book because I was thinking I have cover art to do. And I'm trying to save money because I don't know if I want to go with AI. I wanted something actually maybe hand painted that looked nice with my book cover because my son's probably going to bring that other computer over. And I was practicing that, and they figured since I was practicing that on my live streams, they assumed I took all his art supplies. And my husband, whatever I make from work is extra. See, I just take these and I'm looping it in this big hole here. And this actually looks pretty decent. I thought it would look stupid, but it actually doesn't look bad. But yeah, my husband pays all the bills. That job is not really, I mean, I help out with extra money, but my bills are already paid. And my husband works 6 days a week. And you have all these people from work just surrounding me over a picture that the sons declined. And they never visited this man, even though he was a famous artist for the Cleveland Indians. Oh, thank you. And that's the thing. And I think I was painting to honor the dead. I feel when you die, if you had a really good craft, you should do something to honor the dead. And a lot of times my patients on my live streams will say, oh, try this, try that. So in his memory, I honored him by painting. And somehow I end up I took this picture. Why would I want a picture of a special family moment? I have a family of my own. And literally all the nurses read and then my one friend that knew I was autistic, they did not know I was autistic. And I don't have common sense that well. That I do know. That's why I hang out with a lot of times. I connected with this guy from work and he's slow. I just take this and I loop it up too and just like this and I slip knot it so you get three. Do this. I practice slip knots for like a month. But I connected with a really good friend, and we connected on a soul level because we're both on the spectrum. And I guess when you're on the spectrum, can you just pull this through? I pull it around my finger and then pull this through. There's a lot of videos on slip knots. I found one on slip knots, and it was a little kid's video about an alligator method, and that's how I learned to slip knot. It was crazy how to learn to slip knot. Anyways, he's on the spectrum and he's high functional slow. I'm high functional autistic. There's sometimes I used to stumble on my words, so I had to take speech therapy. And when you have this loop here, you just take it out and do this. And sometimes I guess I misjudge people, and I think everybody's nice and friendly. And this is half of my problem. It really is. And I do know, and I feel bad for other autistic people that aren't on the higher end of the spectrum like me, because they don't really have financial freedom. And my friend that I call my brother, because I'm like, we go on vacations together and stuff because he's not good at handling money and I am. But I got a bike. It's hard for me to drive too. I don't have very good dexterity, but I got this bike and I was gonna ride the bike and I was gonna have Chong with me. So, because I feel sometimes he doesn't think I go fast enough. And my brother said he's not gonna fix the bike and put air in it because he thinks that Chong's gonna knock me off the bike. But these are things that I lack in. And I guess friends is another thing I lack in, obviously. But I felt insulted because when they all found out I had autism, which I don't really tell everybody, I just kind of keep to myself and try not to talk to people because when I talk, sometimes it's something like a child would talk to you with, like, because sometimes when you're autistic, you're overly sensitive. And that's why sometimes you can't really relate to other people well. And that's sometimes I feel that maybe that's why some of my abilities are more in tune because I'm already at that level where I don't judge and my brain's a little different. And with my mom being a white witch and me being autistic, and then I ended up on the high functional end, it kind of was a perfect storm. I can tune into these things a little bit more than other people because I see humanity. And anybody on the spectrum, or even if they're slow, sees humanity. And oh, hello, how are you? Hello, everybody. I'm really glad that you guys are nice people and not like the people I have to work with because I really need my health insurance. And if I could, I would just leave right away. But my husband told me I shouldn't let people run me. And he's not on the spectrum and he's not slow. He does well in those kind of situations. He'll scream at people and he knows a lot of martial arts and stuff. I call him Bruce Lee Jr. It's like his nickname because he knows all these martial arts. And he says that just because you're on the spectrum or different doesn't mean anything. And I feel people still judge you for that. And anyways, it became a whole big spectacle over this weekend about my autism, and they couldn't believe I was autistic. And then my friend, of course, my best friend Gail, had to point out as I was talking how I was talking and how I was pausing and how I talked different from them. And it really embarrassed me because, my kind of people in my community get very embarrassed very quickly. Like when people mention about sexual things, like one of my friends was goofing around and I turned completely red and they were saying that what do you do? Do you like this and this guy? And they were goofing around, but I turned completely red because I don't like people touching me. Not at all. And I don't like talking about sex with groups of people. I don't. I feel it's a private thing and I just don't like it. And people that are like that usually don't like it. Oh, hello, Karen. How you doing? I was just talking about my crazy weekend. I guess coming out. I feel like I'm part of some kind of community now. You know, the LGBT community, they talk about coming out all the time, but I know what they're talking about now. Everybody finds out you're different. Oh my God. And the first thing they said was, oh, but she's smart. Everybody thinks autistic people are stupid. I have a very high IQ. That's why I can work in nursing. If I wanted to, I could be a nurse, but I told the nurses I would be fired in one day because I couldn't talk to any of these people. And if I did, what I said would come out of my mouth would get me fired at some point. It would take an act of God with some of these families. I'm just taking these and looping them in here because I seen these on Amazon. But my brother did tell me that the reason that he said we have a friend her name's Lottie Ann, and she's a really good sketch artist, and she's really good at sketching, and like creative stuff. And he said that's because she's autistic. And I got when I put some on the community board, some of my sketches, because some of my coworkers thought they'd be good tattoos. And if you like any of them, if you brought them to your sketch artist at your tattoo shop, they're gonna redo them anyways. So right now I'm only good at that, but Lottie Ann had to practice a long time and she's going to school now to be a sketch artist for the police. But like me, she's autistic and high functional. And the thing is my people are always called stupid, or they act like we can't do nothing. And then when it was mentioned that my brother was slow, they said, "Well, he works." It's like, what do they think? Slow people and autistic people don't have a job? I just don't understand. So, I just got your question through. I have it in slow mo because it's a little easier. I'm gonna throw the slip knot in real quick and then answer your question. But yeah, I mean, please, if somebody you know is autistic or slow, don't judge them and put them in a category because I hate that. And I can see where the LGBT community is coming from. I really can. But you want to know what to expect in October, my friend Karan. I think that you are my real friend. I feel that me and you could have coffee and have fun and maybe hang out with Chong and stuff because it seems like you're more of a real friend than some of these people that say they're my friends. So, oh, you're welcome. Thank you for all that. I just was all my friends were trying to tell me that it was all mad about this damn picture about my stream and this and that. They don't understand that you should celebrate the dead, and this is how we celebrate them. The things that they did, in their arts and crafts, they do that I try to celebrate on the stream because your spirit stays on this earth for at least a week. And if his spirit was around since we were close, I thought maybe that his spirit would see that I was trying to draw, and that was it. So, but I got for your October reading. Right now, you're in a full moon in Scorpio, and that just means you got a lot of negative things that you got to let go, kind of like me. There's just a lot of heartache and despair and different things that come along with just a lot of nasty people in your life. And really, all the nasty people that are disregarding you is who you have to kind of avoid in October. And October is surrounded by a dissembling moon, which just means to take your me time and just try to let all the bad things people are saying and all the surrounding circumstances, you just gotta let that go and let all the hate go in October. I know it's hard. It's hard for me. I struggle with this on a daily. And October is also surrounded by a full moon in Aquarius. And that just means to learn to love yourself and show the world who you are inside. I mean, not just what society wants to show you, the real you, that and your real emotions and how you want to be loved and be happy. And maybe we both can strive in this path together because I'm right in this path. I really am. I feel you, and this is a difficult path. In October, I feel I'm in the same damn path. I really do. Start this little baby here. I gotta try to get this clip done because I want to try to wear these little clips. I was gonna dye my hair black with a figure if I have a little hair clip with black extensions. I didn't dye it. Tell me, what are my Aquarius' true feelings and intentions towards me currently? Okay. Or we could see about where your love interest is in this whole scenario. Because some of this for a certain amount of time or teach us a lesson. And this includes lovers and family and friends. And I found this lesson out hard, so we will see what pathway that person is at right now. All right. All right. All right. Your lover or your love interest is in news, just means that they're in a cycle of prosperity, which means they're getting a lot of things that they so I guess that would be good. And your love interest also is has a new moon in Capricorn around them. And they're working hard at monetary things. And it's very important to them. They're almost obsessed with money for some reason. I don't know why people get obsessed with this money issue, but they do. And then your love interest is surrounded by a full moon eclipse. And that means conclusions are within reach. For what I'm picking up of your love interest is I think the person likes you a lot, but I'm not picking up any real love. I feel that your love interest wants somebody that's going to be able to be equal to them, and money is very important to them for some reason. And they're going to love and respect the person that is in their path. I'm not sure if they're in the mindset of for better or for worse, like traditional marriage. I feel like they're just feeling their vibe and they don't want to be lonely right now. But this can always change as time goes on once they get to know you better. So that's what I'm picking up on your love interest. So maybe just keep an eye out, and if you guys are having a decent relationship, go with it for a little bit and maybe just kind of, I guess, go with the punches and see what happens because love does take time to grow and respect with each other. So, all right. Will Dab approach me? Is it Dab? Okay, well, Dab approached me with a new romantic offer. Okay, we could do a pathway reading on Dab. That's about the only way I could do that. Oh, thank you, Karan. I'm glad you're with me in my sorrow over here of pretty much finding out three of my friends were horrible to me. But let me get to this Dab here. Okay. Your new romantic offer. Sounds serious over there. I'm just trying to deal with other stuff. You got all kinds of stuff going on here, Dab. But anyway, I'll move my computer over a little. I think this is better. All right. Your romantic offer is in a third quarter moon, and these were about adjustments. And it's saying there need to be required for your new romantic offer. And I guess this whole situation is surrounded by a cardinal moon and a new moon in Aries. And cardinal moon just means make the first move and be bold, come out of your skin type thing. And the new moon in Aries is just means it's time to take action. It's a fire sign. So I feel your new romantic interest is kind of being stalemate because they're not sure if they really love you like the love that is forever. And they may want to go on another path. That's what I'm picking up with that. So maybe if they decide they want to give it a chance and go another way and with the path with you, then possibly they'll make another romantic offer. But I feel that there's a where they want to maybe feel the other side, where the commitment and romantic and where people actually love and care about each other for more than just other values. So that's what I'm picking up for you, Deb. And let me see here. All right. Let's see. Aquarius, I got him. Got that one. All right. Now we got Javitha from India. We want a love reading. That is very easy there. Instead of having to be Scooby Doo going across a bunch of people. I'm getting a lot. I'm going to turn off this one lamp. I got back here. Alright, I feel that's better lighting. I'm just so glad I fixed this computer. It's like I'm getting a delay over here, but it's okay. At least it's better than my whole setup as I had before. Alright, but yeah. Alright, my friend from India here. Your love life here is you got a new moon in Scorpio for your love reading. And I'm picking up you have fears and you're scared, but you want to kind of have somebody, but you don't know if you trust them fully. But you want to find somebody because you're lonely. And that's normal. That is very, very normal. Nobody wants to be lonely and everybody needs somebody. That's why there's so many love songs in the world. And that's why everybody talks about love because it completes us. And you got a full moon in Leo, and this just talks about pride and maybe some different principles that you have that other people may not have and expectations. And they're just saying don't let it get in the way of maybe somebody you might have not thought was your equal. Because there might be somebody that likes you a lot that you haven't given someone a chance that likes you, and that's what I'm picking up. And it's not that your pride, it's just somebody you just never thought you'd go out with or like. Sometimes opposites attract. Then you got a full moon in Libra also, and that means it's going to balance out for a win-win. So I guess be open minded about your love life, and somebody is going to come around in your love life. I don't see who because that's being withheld because it hasn't happened yet. But there is somebody that's interested in you. And, and if it's not that much of an attractive person, but maybe average looking, sometimes average looking people are better to date than the people that are really good looking that'll cheat on you. And you don't really want that because when they start cheating on you and lying and stuff, it just ruins a lot of stuff. And you don't want your things being ruined in your life. So I would just say be open minded and just look at the world around you. That's what I would do. All right. And that was Javitha's reading. So I'm getting a little more organized with this. I had to learn the ways of live streaming and then spent 6 hours fixing a computer and tethering it from my phone until my son comes Sunday, hopefully with this MacBook, so my streams could be a whole lot better. But at least I'm still in business. It just shows you how much of a persevere person I am. Either way, I'm going to try to get on here, even if it takes an act of God in fixing computers and syncing computers. To sync your computer to Microsoft and to Google takes 6 hours. And then you have to fix certain things on it. It was not easy. So by people calling me stupid, I don't know. Because I was able to do this. Alright. I got alright. And Pink Lady. You wanna know if you're gonna write a book. You can do anything you want to do. I'm living proof of this. I'm autistic and I'm up here and I wrote a book. I don't even need the cards for this one. Books are not hard. I read a lot of books and read the books of the genre that you want to write. And those writers, the way they deliver books and If you see that, I mean, you're gonna have your own style of writing, but I would make sure you maybe I would took a lot of English when I was younger and when I was in college. And that's like the most important thing is your words. Words are the most important. So I would do that, and I went it forward when I read my book. When I wrote it, I read all the Game of Thrones and word for word. Did not speed read it or nothing to see how he put together his book because it's a really good book, and the Game of Thrones is good, and so is The Hobbit and stuff. And if you want to write a love book, the romance books. It's really hard for me to write a love scene, but some people can do it so good. It's crazy. They can, and they really make these love scenes like wow. But these are, I mean, you got to see what kind of writer you are, and I rewrote my book probably like 20 times. And I've been talking about it for years because I've had a lot of delays and a lot of situations that's been happening over the years. But a book is an extension of you, and you absolutely can write a book. You just gotta tap into your inner self. You really do, and your core and who you are, and you gotta give your all. And you gotta like research. Just like when I read when I was writing my book, I noticed that dragon lore was popular, and so was like vampires and wolves. So I did personification with the vampires and the wolves. But with a book, you it could go any way you want it to go. Oh, you're welcome, DG. You are very welcome. I just try to come out here and tell you guys the truth and make some friends that I feel are real. And I see so much awful people every day. I'm hoping on YouTube or social media I can find somebody that's halfway decent because I feel people are not like they used to be. And I refuse to believe everybody's horrible in the world. So I'm over here just trying to find humanitarians that aren't awful in the world. And you guys are not awful, and thank God, because I don't know if I could deal with one more awful person in this world. But this is a part of my disability, I guess, is I get overly emotional and I take things to heart. So I like to be around positive people. I like to talk to positive people. I can't stand negative people. I can't stand people that belittle other people. I can't stand racist people at all. And I mean, being autistic and being a part of the spectrum, I'm not just against anything. I don't, I don't discriminate against skin color or sexuality. I feel that it takes a lot to get naked in front of a person. So with that being said, whoever it is, I just hope for the best for them. If a man wants to have sex with a man, if they're both consensual, why not? If that's what they want and nobody's being hurt, because this world has a lot of pain in it, and there's a lot of people going through pain, and I just feel that people are just horrible in it, and all this stuff with like everybody hating on bisexual people, this person, that person. There's people starving out there and being abused, being taken in, and there's people on this meth, and there's way bigger issues in the world. If the if our main focus was always just on that, What about the people that are on drugs that maybe need help but can't get it because they closed down all the I know I used to work at a drug rehab place and you used to sign yourself in for free. Those got closed down. So even if people wanted to get off these drugs, they really couldn't because they don't have health insurance and they're not going to be able to get rehab. So we don't help the situation, I guess, and medical. And there's a lot of things going on in the world that are really bad. And I don't think people embellish on any of these issues. So, oh, hi, Nemo. Is Andrew the planet? I don't know if that's a question I can answer about attraction. Honestly, I mean, if you want to find out if they're attracted to you, I would just try to be friends with them and see how things go. Maybe just be friends with them and just be straight up. And those are questions that no tarot reader can tell you because it infringes on free will. But if you want to find someone's attracted to you, you got to see kind of how they act around you and stuff. And if you feel that they might like you, you could tell them that you find them attractive and see how their reaction is. I mean, that's only the only way of finding out if someone's attracted to you. It's sad but true, and I've had to do that before with my first husband, and we worked together. So, and then we ended up leaving the job and being together. But it took a lot of like, we were together for a couple months and he talked about me to his family and stuff. So, and that helped. So, and then sometimes you form a really strong friendship and your relationship's a little better at times that way. All right. I think that's it. You feel incompetent. I mean, I'm over here and I'm autistic and I wrote a book. If I can write a book, anybody can. And you don't have to use big language. You don't. And I'm waiting on this computer that hopefully gets here soon that my son's bringing me. You go on Amazon and I have things where my friend has where you can for new writers, and I'm going to be doing that with my book, but you could look it up on Amazon how you like download a book because that's how I'm going to be doing that myself. But you don't have to feel confident. Just write it the way you want to read it because honestly, everyone likes different writing. Some people like the real sophisticated writing, some people just like simple words. It depends on what audience you're getting. So, I mean, I've read books that were not so complicated of words and they became bestsellers. So don't feel incompetent because I'm living proof that if I can write a book, anybody can. So I don't want you to feel like that because to feel like you're discarded and put aside and you can't do something, you should never let anybody take away things that you really want to do because you're better than you think in the world. So, but so I'm gonna go ahead and end this because the husband's probably gonna be home soon. And thank you for everybody. 'Cause I don't think anybody's on here anymore. I don't see any people. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. And thank you for all the thumbs up and all the support. And I do feel better, and I thank you guys for everything. Because I don't know if I could survive without coming over here and talking to you guys with all the bad people I gotta talk to in one day. But I hope everyone has a good and safe day. And I'll be on tomorrow.